As the sides regarding the passage of the ERA amendment coalesced, it wasn't along partisan party lines. There were many Democrats who were opposed to it. There were Republicans who supported it, and vice versa. Again, I mentioned the Church of Latter-day Saints, the Mormon Church, significant political opposition in Nevada. Now, the first thought that many people have is, wait a minute, separation of church and state. Initially, when the ERA issue came before the Nevada legislature, the Mormon Church did not make or take a public stance against it. By late 1976, they did, but initially they did not. However, they were very active within their stakes, in their wards, in their women's relief societies, using young boys that are called the Aaronic priesthood to distribute leaflets around neighborhoods. So they were very involved in opposition. The Mormon Church is a church that has very traditional views regarding women's roles and gender mores. So the way that their church is structured, for example, they don't merely believe in a heaven and a hell. Their church doctrine states that heaven is attainable through your priesthood husband. So in order to, heaven is tiered, I believe it's 7 celestial tiers, but to reach the highest tier of heaven, a woman has to be welcomed across the threshold by her husband. And without that, she cannot attain the highest experience of heaven. So you can see that there's a definite hierarchical structure according to gender embedded within church doctrine. So opposition for the ERA came in a variety of ways. Religious, I just mentioned the Church of the Latter-day Saints, the Mormon Church. The Catholic Church did not have a unified oppositional voice against the ERA. However, in Las Vegas, the leading Catholic figure, Bishop Norman McFarland, was very much opposed to the ERA. He wrote about it. He wrote op-eds for the newspaper. He wrote letters to the various parishes. And he stated to the priests, feel free to quote my letters. So it wasn't a unified opposition, but when you have the leading figure in the local church very vocal about his opposition, that tends to flavor the sentiment locally. So again, each parish, each church could choose what they wanted to do, whether they wanted to speak against it from the pulpit on Sunday or not. Again, the bishop was very vocal, and he wrote a lengthy letter voicing his opposition, and that letter was read into the legislative record by Senate Majority Leader James Gibson, who was more than happy to read this into the record as he was a leading opponent of the Equal Rights Amendment himself.